Well, here she is in all her glory. Fine little unit right here. Now, before I get going, I had footage of when I went and picked this thing up and turning it over with a bar, making sure the engine wasn't locked up, getting it back here to the house, going through the process of trying to get it running, which it did not, which you'll find out. So, I lost all that footage. I don't know if my little boy was playing around on the GoPro and it's gone, but it's gone. So, here we are, current day. I'll bring you up to speed of what happened with this old girl. So, I seen it on Marketplace, messaged the guy, went and looked at it, decided I want it, got it. Got it back here, went to checking it out, and I had like 20 pounds of compression on cylinder 3. The rest of them had 0. Injectors were plugged up. Other than that, she was great. So, pulled the engine out, put some pistons, rings, main bearing, drop bearings, went through the head, reseated the valves, cleaned all that up, put new nozzles on the injectors because I was going to buy a set of injectors, but $250 for one injector and I need 3. I didn't really want to sink that kind of money until I know, because I don't know nothing about the hydraulics or anything else other than what I got. It's all intact. It has not been taken apart, so I feel confident that there's no problems there. The guy originally that I bought it from said it needed a fuel pump. Was the only thing wrong with it. Well, the fuel pump is great. It pumps great. It works fine. It didn't have no compression is what was wrong with it. But past all that, today's the day we're going to put it back in. It's not the greatest of weather days, but you gotta make hay when the sun shines or something like that. The sun ain't shining, but we're gonna make hay, so stick around. All right, a little bit about the old girl. You see that seat? Man, that's like brand new. Luckily for us, we've traded up a seat. So all the linkages are free. Everything's great. And here's the auxiliaries, and that was another great thing. There's the auxiliaries. Now you see stuff like this. This went up there, and you see the key switch just laying in there. So that's another little deal, is getting all that wired up. This, however, I have had a hard time. That's the light box, the warning lights to tell you, you know, when something's getting hot, something's going on, a switch or something. I'm just not worried about that. What I'm going to do is, in the place where this goes, right up there, I'm going to put a manual water temperature gauge and a manual oil pressure gauge, because that's really all the things that I'm really concerned about while I'm running. This side, however, you got the fuel gauge and the hour meter, and the hours are reading 5,000 hours. So the tires, now they were all 4 off the rim. I put tubes in all 4 tires. I didn't want $700 and some for a set of tires, which I think is reasonable. But these, like you see, this one's real good. This one's got a little life on it. They don't match, but that'll do me just fine. The back glass had been knocked out at some point. Somebody had a tree limb or something fall on them right there. And down in here, boys, I've cleaned that out some. The pump turns freely, so I feel good about that. But that will remain to be seen. And you see I got mismatching wheels. But when I bought the thing, the guy gave me 6 tires, 5 wheels, and that 6-foot bucket right there for it. So it worked out pretty good. So I guess what we need to do is move this old Massey out of the way and grab a hold of this engine over here. And here's the engine. I done went through it. I didn't go like down the bare block, and what I did was re-sleeved it, New pistons, new rings, new main bearings, new rod bearings. Went through the head, the valves, and put new nozzles on the injectors. The guts in the original injectors, the spring, the shims, and the plungers, they all looked great. But the nozzles were rusted out. There's a little bit of water that was laying down in this after I got it out. So it's amazing it wasn't locked up. But that's what we did there. I didn't even take the fuel pump off. Whenever I was originally checking, I had good fuel. And then after I've done all this, I'll show you in this short clip, I started this thing on the stand. So yeah, in our current situation, we need to get that engine in the hole and see what this baby does. And today is the day that we're gonna do that. So it ought to be fun times for me anyway. So I hope you enjoy. I got the crane, obviously, but we got issues with that because of this main frame right here. When I pulled it out, I had the hook right here, and I hooked my come along in there, and because I could get a straight shot right there if you see that, but I had to drag it out basically. So I had my come along in there, and I kept picking up, letting off, picking up, and I ended up pulling that thing just almost straight up and down out of there. So there's not a good straight shot. What I'm thinking might be easier is that I got these cheap little screw on the bucket Chinese forks from a tractor. I'm thinking about putting that engine on one of them forks and just easing it. But I can go a straight shot, set it down in there, hook everything up. I'm gonna try it. If it don't work, then I guess I'll go back to the come along route and the crane, set it in there. And, you know, this is kind of like a Bobcat 843. If you ever experienced the older model Bobcats, the engine's set in there like that too. The newer ones, they set in here like this, so you got plenty of room to maneuver and whatever, and this makes it kind of tough. But if it was almost, I mean, if this wasn't, this is part of the main structure, where I would cut me a little slit where I could get a chain in there and then put it back and weld it back, but I don't want to go through all that. I think I can manage, and it won't be too terrible, but we'll see. Oh, let's take a look at that bucket. Shoo! This little engine might be a little heavy for this little old tiny tractor. But I think we're gonna get it. We're gonna stabilize this. Here's my next, you can see. I'm gonna put another come along to make it set straight like that. And I think we'll be able to set it down in there. Well, that didn't work out. Them forks in them buckets put too much weight And it's a little engine, but that's a little tractor. It just ain't got it. So it was struggling really bad, even like on this little bank, it was wanting to teeter. So we're gonna use the crane and just drag it in. It'll be fine. I guess one of the things I need to do before I get carried away is put this cab back up in there. Do it now. Let down on this old girl. Oh, so close. So close. Put them mounts on. Come on, fingers. There we go. Woo! Half the battle. Now I'm gonna put them front mounts in before I tackle forward with this pump, because I gotta pick the front of the engine up. Well, there you have it. It was a little tougher than I thought it was going to be. Pumps mounted, the engine's mounts are in and tight. We got to hook up a couple fuel lines, get the radiator, the fan. Another oversight was I didn't get a hydraulic filter. I got new oil filter, new fuel filter, obviously. Redone the engine. But I ain't get a new hydraulic filter. But I am dying, and I mean foaming at the mouth, to get oil in this girl and fire her up and see that everything works. Now, I'm going to spin that off there and look at it, and if it looks, you know, decent, then I'm going to go ahead and fill it up with oil and fire this old girl up, see what it does, and then I'll just get that filter and change it later on. Yeah, we're coming along here, baby, and it's exciting. It is to me. Everything's moving good. Pumps actuating good. We gotta get a new kill switch. Or not a kill switch, a choke cable, basically, a kill cable. It's a manual fuel shutoff on the injection pump, which I like. I really like it. A lot less, more stuff to go bad. Let's see. I know I got wiring issues. Obviously, that is a mess up there. But I can still start it and try it out without fooling with all that. And then once we see that all that works and everything, then I'm going to get in here with the pressure washer and clean this up really good. And fix all this wiring, get everything nice and tidy. And hopefully I got me a good little machine here. So, yeah, boys. Exciting. Stay tuned. We'll be firing this girl up here in a minute. I don't know if y'all can see this or not, but there's the return line. Little mud daubers to build them a little. I'm gonna try to get all this stuff to fall to the outside. I don't want no more crap in the fuel tank than what already could be. I have just a little bit on the end there. That ain't enough. That's why you got fuel filters, right? That baby's not plugged up no more. And there it all went. Alright. Another thing is this. Man, these fuel lines. I gotta change all these fuel lines too, but we'll worry about that after. I'd like to reincorporate this, but I do not have a filter for that. That's just full of water. I mean, plumb full of water. So, but what I do have is one of these left over where I put one on the tractor. Flow goes that way. So we're gonna put this big honking inline, if it'll fit. It'll fit all right. Gosh, that fuel, that line's terrible. We gotta cut some of that off. Yeah, but down here at the bottom, you don't want to tear it up. Oh, it was barely on there. Oh, it's got good looking oil. If you can see that. Oh yeah, that's real good. Alright, so we had enough hose to get the bottom one in there. But I went to Lowe's and I got these little 1.25" couplings. I don't know, I guess that's for like a drain. And this flex hose, I don't know how well this will work. I've got the proper hose ordered. It's on its way, but this for a little, we'll just see how this works. You know, that antifreeze don't do nothing but flow. You know, maybe, like that cap says, what, 16 pounds at the max. So I think for testing purposes, we're going to be okay with this. So now all we got to do is fill the antifreeze, fill the hydraulic oil, and start it up. So here we go. Got some of this good antifreeze right here. Ooh, what is that? Oh, I was just doing the outside. I'll dump that in there. And this is the same oil. You see it's a different color. This has got a tint in it, but it's 10 weight hydraulic oil. I don't see it coming up in the glass yet. Oh, I do. I'm gonna overfill it because it's probably gonna suck it down since we had everything drained on it. The pump was pretty much drained. The auxiliary pump was drained. Yeah, we'll go with that and see what that ends up being. If you see here, if you guys can see this, get you situated. Put my sight glass right there. You see I'd say I watched it go just right out of the glass. Oil's probably like right in this area. But I feel like it's gonna suck it back down to that add mark, but we'll see. All right. So we got all our stuff picked up. Everything's clear out of the way. The moment we've all been waiting on. I got 2 wires run right here. Hopefully it's not in gear. This is it. Fire in the hole. Sounds good. It's just bleeding its way out, I believe. Let's see what this thing will do. Let me check that oil level.
That makes me excited. I was running about half throttle. Whatever, it's just let it burn it out. The hydraulics, the auxiliaries were halfway engaged, and that's why it was acting like it was bypassing, doing weird stuff. But that foot, I hit that foot pedal and it was stuck a little bit. It freed itself, and now it seems to be working great. I'm gonna close the rear hatch, and then we're gonna try her out right here.
definitely don't want that to happen. But from what I can tell, just when I reached in there and cut it off, ain't nothing leaking. I don't want to run it too much until I get my water temperature gauge and my oil pressure gauge, just peace of mind, so I know that I'm not overheating. I'm carrying good oil pressure. But once this thing got all the air worked out, man, it seemed like it's very responsive and seems like it's gonna be pretty good. Time will tell. But we gotta fix this. We gotta make these levers stick down these bucket longer, because we don't want to be loading something and it doing that. And I gotta get used to these foot controls. They're a little bit like right now. There ain't no feather. It's either all or nothing. But yeah, boys. After been sitting, I don't know, probably at least 10 years if it hasn't been sitting for a good 15 years. This is a 1997 model. We still got things to do. We gotta fix the wiring, we gotta change the seat. Some odds and ends. I might do a little series on this thing. Y'all let me know in the comments if y'all's interested in all the little quirks and deals and do's and the add-ons and attachments and all the stuff that I might do to this thing. If you're interested in a series on skid steer series, I'll make a series on this thing and everything I do with it. But I'm excited now. Now I know I got a running working machine. The pump works, everything works. Man, just what I was wanting. Took me a little bit longer, but we made it happen, even in the worst weather situations. So if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and it's free to you. It costs you nothing. It helps me out, helps my channel out. And if you're interested in this kind of stuff, I got lots of things like this coming down the line. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching, guys.